Hey, bro, we're here with Monday Mistress. We're talking about their. It's not a new album, right? It's been out for a minute, right?
Yeah. It's been
Yeah,
out since
Yeah.
2016.
All right, 2016.
but we
Um,
finally just released it on Bandcamp, so it's new there.
got you.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So, do you want to tell me a little bit about the album?
What do you think, Mike? How does the album sound to you?
Well, we've heard several styles kind of in play. To me it's just like that. It was an expression of my angst back in the '90s. That's what it feels like to me.
For sure.
But grown up.
I hear
But
that.
grown
Yeah,
up now.
grown up, like grown up emo angst,
Yes.
but not really emo. It's
No, it's
just
like
angsty.
it's like grunge angst from the
Very
'90s left
grunge.
over. It carried over. What do you think, Lynn?
I'd say that, but I'd also say that that especially Joe and Mike have a heavy influence. I'd say from Black Sabbath, easy to say. More than
But the thing
anything.
is, I don't listen to Black Sabbath.
No, you don't, but you are clearly influenced by them. I would have to say that the vast majority of it was pretty collaborative. Tom's not on this call, but Tom really easily together, and I think maybe the Sabbath influence likely came from him.
hmm
Tom?
What do you think?
No, his
Probably.
was more of a punk Ramones kind of. Sadness was my fault.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
guys. That's on
Oops,
me.
my bad. Sorry about dripping
Whatever it
Sabbath
is,
everywhere.
it's definitely a Sabbath tone to it. Joe did a lot of the composition and lyric writing, as well as Mike. I barely did any writing on the album. I just did mostly performing on it, and it was pretty emotional for all of us, I think. And
Absolutely.
just the recording process itself was extremely exciting for us. The place we recorded, the history there, and this was just from, obviously Mike and I have been playing music together for an incredibly long time, and when we joined up with Joe, I mean, Joe just really inspired us to get our act together and really get some shit done. So
Oh, that's awesome.
and he just had the creative ear and mind to really make this album happen.
So you mentioned the place where you recorded the album. Where was that?
Was it
Go
Inner
for
Ear,
it,
right?
Joe, if you want to go into that, or
Yeah, you should go into
Inner
that,
Ear
Joe.
Studio.
Oh yeah, so Inner Ear Studio. So I was watching this HBO documentary by Dave Grohl called Sonic Highways. I don't know if you guys I don't know if you've seen that, Tori. But
Mm-hmm.
Dave Grohl basically does a recording in every like major city, and he did one in Washington D.C., which took place in Inner Ear Studios.
Isn't he from here? He's from Fairfax?
Oh yeah, he's from here. I think West Springfield area.
Yeah.
He recorded several times like in Alexandria, and I mean he's still a big part here. But when I saw that documentary, I was like, we need to record over there. So when I went to the Inner Ear Studios website, and they had I don't know if it was a contest, but it was sort of a contest where if you send them a song, and if they like the song, they'll give you like a discount off
Okay.
of recording time. And I sent it in there, not really, just like, hey, let's see what happens. We did a rough recording of our song "Fuss" that was from David Reynolds, right? That was
that would be DLR Studios for those counting at home.
Yeah. So we sent that there to the guys over at Inner Ear Studios, and then just off the whim, I checked in with them to see, hey, how much is it to record over there? And lo and behold, they're like, oh, you're the same guys who sent in this song. By the way, you won the contest, so you actually, if you want to, you can record with a massive discount.
That's awesome.
And so of course we had to take that opportunity there, and we took the tour. We met Don Zatora, and I guess the rest is history. It's such an amazing place. It's more like you're recording like in a art gallery.
Oh, nice.
And the main thing that we made sure that we did was when we watched the documentary of Sonic Highways, Dave Grohl sat in a specific chair when you see him. So we made sure that when we're recording, that we're like Lindsay would sit in the chair, I would sit, and we all took turns sitting in this.
You're just
Dave
like
Grohl
getting the
chair.
Dave Grohl energy, like
Yeah,
As much as
and
we
also the
could.
Butch Vig energy too.
for sure.
But it was really cool. It's also not only like an art gallery, but it's also like a museum when you walk up and down the hallways. Don has just had such a major influence in especially the DC hardcore scene and punk rock generally, and he's just such an amazing person to work with a very critical ear, but also just like extremely nice and just really good at communicating. But when you walk up and down the hallways and you see pictures of him with Henry Rollins from back in the day, and
Ian MacKay,
it really
all those, yeah. To be even like mentioned or even in a degree to being near them, it's an honor.
I bet.
So
yeah. So you get pretty inspired just knowing who's been in those hallways and all of that. So it's pretty exciting place to record. If you are an artist, I highly recommend recording there if you ever get the chance.
Yeah, for sure.
And
If we're ever allowed to leave our houses again.
Yeah. We'll see.
What's interesting though too is that like we only had really a certain amount of time to record in the studio, so we literally that whole entire album was recorded in like a day. Was it a day or like a day and a half?
it was a day, and then we mastered it in like a day.
Wow, y'all, that's a quick
It was
turnaround.
totally
Holy crap.
Well, we had no choice. We're on a budget, So
Right, for sure.
we don't have that rock star budget where we can just chill at the studio all day long. That'd be wonderful. But nah, we're just a bunch of schmucks. So
Yeah.
Who are you?
so
Very
we totally
much.
Krusty
I
the
agree.
Clowned it, in and out, boom.
Krusty the Clown did. What?
You know that you didn't see the episode where
He loves to
Krusty,
say that.
yeah, where Krusty the Clown came in to do all of his like voice acting, and he did it in like 2 seconds, and he was out.
All right, I'm gonna have to slip that one into my conversation.
He Krusty the Clowned it.
Tight. Okay,
But,
Lindsay. So you mentioned that you and Mike had been doing music kind of before you moved into this Monday Mistress stuff. I also have a music partner named Mike. Tell me about your guys's how you guys got together.
We used to play in a basement in Fairfax with our friend Patrick for a
Wait,
long
hold on,
time, a band
Lindsay.
called Every Other.
Lindsay, hold on. Let's back it up.
Oh, we're gonna go all the way back, huh?
Even
The
further.
first time I met Lindsay was at a Soundgarden show at Patriot Center.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
when
incredible.
Soundgarden reunited, and they were gonna, this is like the reunion tour, and
Yeah.
that was the first time I met Lindsay.
Yeah.
We were all hanging out, doing our thing, and then in my head I was like, wait a minute. So we have an out-of-band bassist, out-of-band guitarist, and out-of-band singer, and I'm an out-of-band drummer. So
Let's
why don't
just.
let's not be out of a band. And then that's
awesome.
what happens.
And clearly we had a common love for Soundgarden. So Mike and I had a lot of musical taste in common. We had friends in common. But as time went on, the band we were in did mainly cover music. That was just not something that we were interested in. We were really interested in creating some original content. And as the years progressed, Mike suggested that we try jamming with Joe, and Joe just really helped us to focus everything in and really go for an original sound, original writing, and just to actually do our own stuff and not do other people's stuff. And that felt great. It basically is what a musician actually wants to do. You don't want to play cover songs. It's just a bore. So you want to do your own stuff.
Absolutely. You guys have a super similar origin story to us, and it's super weird because your name is also Mike and my guitarist name is Mike.
Well, I'm a drummer, so that's what.
Well, right, but yeah, that's super cool. I mean, obviously, I relate to that completely. You are playing music, and it's like fun to play the music, but just like something about it doesn't feel right. So you have to get in and start figuring out like who you are as a musician, and not trying to like play within this box. And it makes it super hard. So like I totally am with you guys on that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fun, but
of
we just wanted to stretch our wings and like do something that's us. That's our expression of the art of music.
Absolutely.
So.
It's like super challenging, and you feel like I bet after playing a show of your music compared to cover music, it feels so much more like rewarding.
Oh yeah. I mean, Lindsay and I have played in cover bands. I think Joe, you may have played in a cover band or so, and it's not the same.
No.
It feels like a job.
Yeah.
I feel like even if you do play covers, there's only so far you can like take it,
True.
And I feel like when you write your own songs, for one thing, people don't really notice when you mess up.
True. Yep.
But also, like, I feel like you can take your own songs as far as you can go, and you cannot be really compared to the original artist. And I feel like that's more fulfilling.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first time I met you guys was at I remember I just played like a 2-hour set like in Fairfax, and then Mike was like, "You need to come out here to Henrico and see us perform." And I was like, "What? That's like so long." I just played a 2-hour set, and I came up there, and the first thing I see is like Lindsay like rocking out, and then Mike's on drums, and it was such a cool vibe to see them perform up front.
And I hadn't seen Joe for years before that, like years.
Yeah.
Wait, so where did you guys meet before? You and Mike and Joe.
Oh, the first time we met?
Yeah, sure. Let's go back all the way.
Was it like when you were 4? Were you
pretty
4?
far back, huh?
Was I 4 years old? Is that what it was?
Maybe. I don't know. We're cousins.
Yeah, we're cousins.
Oh, well, there's that.
So
I love
always
that.
found that like there is some. I feel like sometimes with family there's already that musical chemistry,
For sure.
that like.
Well, you have the same blood.
Mike was the first. Yeah, there's that, but Mike was the first person that introduced me to playing music, like actually being able to like you can actually play drums live, because I remember the first time I saw a drum set was in Mike's house.
Oh wow.
And I think the first thing he ever or him and his brothers ever had me listen to was what's that, the first Def Leppard, what was it, Def Leppard, like
no, it was actually Iron Man, because I knew how to play
it was
Iron Man.
And thus that's how I play music all the time, just like the riff of Iron Man.
Perfect.
Yeah, I grew up in like in a Partridge Family situation where like my dad played guitar, my brother played guitar, my other brother played bass, so I played drums.
Yeah.
And right, because that's where you fit. That's what you got.
Yeah, right. So my mom would make us entertain the guests, and Joe would come over with his family, and that's
you don't have a mom if you do art and she doesn't make you parade you in front of the guests.
Exactly. We're the entertainment.
Absolutely.
We're the entertainment.
It was so refreshing for me to be influenced by Mike too, because like I guess my world of music, my brother was like in choir, and my cousin was like in I guess musical theater, and so I wasn't like really influenced. I didn't have those outlets for rock or anything heavy like that. They thought it was weird.
Rock music. I mean, yeah.
Though I love the soundtrack to all like to the Little Mermaid and to and to Aladdin.
Of course.
I just don't know how hard I can rock out to that sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the same pull. So we've been talking about Joe and Mike for a second, but Lindsay, let's talk about you. So how did you start singing, and who are your influences? Just like talk about you as an artist.
I started singing really when I was very small. My first recording, I think I'm about 2 years old. My aunt sent me the tape cassette in the mail a few years ago.
Oh my god!
So,
that's cool.
Yeah. So I was in chorus as soon as I could be. I think probably in kindergarten. But as I got older, I loved to learn to play piano. I really loved to play the guitar, which I don't do much anymore. But yeah, that was really what got me really excited about creating music. My mom, I grew up listening to Zeppelin, the Beatles, Genesis.
All the good stuff.
All kinds of stuff in the car with my mom every day, all the time. We sang all the time. So, and I would say my mom was probably my main rock influence for sure. And then when I hit 13, I got pretty excited about the 90s grunge era. And even though I was on the younger end of the spectrum, I had a cousin who really influenced me and introduced me to bands like the Smashing Pumpkins, Soundgarden. I really fell in love with the Stone Temple Pilots because I had a neighborhood crush who wore the purple T-shirt, purple album cover T-shirt. and I fell in love with Scott Weiland. So I'd have to say that plus another huge influence for me would be the Black Crowes too. So if I could like make my most loved vocalist out of a few people and just turn them all into one, it would be Scott Weiland and Chris Robinson and oh man, maybe Billy Corgan. Like those are probably my top three favorite people of all
That's
time.
super
Oh,
interesting to me
yeah.
because I feel like most, you know, if you identify as like a female vocalist or you have a female fronted band, most people are going to at least, you know, aren't super influenced by male singers. But I think that gives you like
Yeah.
a
Oh,
very
maybe.
like unique perspective.
Yeah, I have to say, and you know, I mean, I hope it's not because I was born a sexist, but I was always into, you know, male musicians or male vocalists as a child and as a teenager. Not because I, you know, didn't think Joan Jett was cool or, you know, I loved Alanis Morissette actually. That would probably be what I kind of liked the deep grunge scene, and that was just my thing. And to be quite honest, in high school, I would often sing alto two. I would sing tenor one and tenor two, and sometimes I would help sing bass line. So I've always had a
Holy
lower
crap.
range.
Okay,
Yeah,
dang.
I've always had kind of a lower range in my octave anyway. So that might have also been why I loved to sing along with the men. Probably because it was closer to my range than the ladies. So
Oh,
that's a
interesting. And
guess.
me, the soprano over here is just like, holy crap, that's insane. But it's like, okay, that's super cool. That is super cool. So I was looking at your guys' YouTube, and you guys seem to play like a lot of shows. So like tell me about like how you so obviously you got together as a band. Did you start playing shows like right away, or did you get the music together first? Kind of like how did that process go for you guys?
We had to make songs up first because you know when we first started off we didn't have a bassist really. It was just Tom, Lindsay, and I, and we were just dropping riffs. And then when Joe showed up, we had riffs, he had riffs, and we just kind of combined and made a nice salad out of everybody's
Nice
riffs.
salad riff.
Yeah.
Riff salad.
Sometimes we didn't even have riffs. We just had sounds. Like I remember Tom, our guitarist at the time, would just make like a random like play a random chord. I'm like, what is that? We need to make that into a song.
No, seriously, you could like have one chord and it just like inform an entire song, and you just like connect viscerally to a chord.
Yeah. But I feel like that's why I really love playing in this band was the fact of that chemistry. Um, you couldn't really escape it. You know what I mean? There's certain
Mm.
things you just have to let happen. You just have to like see what happens in that circle. Like I was very hesitant towards like bringing ideas to the recording or rehearsal space because I so enjoyed what happened like on the fly while we were there, even in between practicing in between songs. I remember we would practice a song, and then in between that, in between getting ready to practice that song again, we would somehow make another riff and get caught into that and forget we're supposed to be practicing a previous song.
Oh, that in between song stuff is magic, though. That's great.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that part, but I'm not sure how long it took us to play shows. Um,
Not too long, Joe, though, because I mean, yeah, we I don't even think we had a recorded album yet before we started playing shows, which
No.
was I think fine with us. And to be honest, too, I mean, you know, we care about the quality of what we've done, but we've never been so perfectionist that we're willing to put ourselves out there even if we're not perfect, and we're willing to perform even if it's gonna not go as well as we hoped it would, because that really it did make a difference. Actually, I think seriously though, I think it did make a difference in our writing and adjusting songs, and you know also I think it prepared us for what we wanted to hear when we went into the studio to record. So I have to say, you know, I feel like we've been pretty quick and motivated, sometimes ahead of ourselves, but I think it's always worked out in a good way for us. So
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean,
I
like,
always said that we practiced on stage. That's what I like to say.
yeah, like you know, you guys, you know, getting together, making some songs, and getting out there and playing. I mean, like that's just like for lack of a better term, like, that's just rock and roll. Like, you don't have to like have everything polished and perfect. You just like go out there and rock. So, no faults for you guys on that. That's pretty awesome.
But also, I do like the idea of like, you can only really practice so much. And once the first note hits, like all bets are off.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen? And that's really like there's a difference between, or at least for me, there's a difference between, practice rehearsal space and on stage practicing. It's like you have to get in that stage time to feel that energy.
Absolutely. So, what were your guys' performing backgrounds like? Because Lindsay, you talked about being in choir, and Mike, you talked about performing for your family. But before you started like performing on stage, like as a band, did you guys do like kind of stuff in your childhood, or was this kind of your first foray into like performance, or?
Well, I'm a classically trained percussionist.
Oh, wow.
So like since like 5th grade, I'd been like just performing for band or whatever all through high school. Well, not all through high school. I stopped like freshman year, but like, I was just so used to having people gawk at me.
Oh, you just can't get enough. I get it.
I was born an entertainer,
And so you chose the drums to be behind the entire band?
Yeah, I didn't choose it. It chose me.
I gotcha. That makes sense. Oh man. So I was listening to the album a little bit earlier. I would say my personal favorite is Transit. I couldn't really tell you why. I just kind of like connected with it the most. So for you guys, what is your favorite song on the album?
So Transit was that one of the last ones we even wrote?
Yeah. And that was one of those songs where we're like, hey Joe, we need a filler song.
What?
Yeah. Because we needed some time in a show. We needed like a good like 5 minutes to fill in a show. And so we needed a song. So I was like, all right, Joe, we need a song real quick. He started kind of just like, playing a rhythm. And then I was like, all right, now kind of turn it into something rock and roll.
You just make it more not what it is.
We did have many moments like that on stage because, we've all performed on stage and something wrong happens and we have to wait.
Oh, it always does.
We don't really like waiting. So there'll be a time like, okay, so they got a mic check or check something. Or someone would just start playing and then Mike would play. And then all of a sudden we'd come up with a song on stage. That's always been pretty fun.
Fantastic. I wish I was that creative.
I mean, unless I don't know if that's rude for the house guy who's trying to fix stuff, but
I feel like it's almost better.
I never even thought about that.
It's like, are they trying to sound check something or we're jamming up here?
Oops, my bad.
I was like hearing that from like the house mixer. It's like, hey, can you just stop so I can
can you just shut up? Oh my god.
Yeah. We're gonna turn that down. Let's turn that down.
We just turn everything off, in fact.
So what our favorite songs on the album are?
Yes.
And
do you have a favorite?
If you don't have a favorite,
Lindsay,
I don't have a favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song that you play that we play on stage? Because I do.
What's your favorite song that you play on stage?
And listen to it's Run. Run's my favorite because of like the riff change at the end.
Because that one is so taxing on my lungs. I'm gonna take that one.
We recorded that. You sustained that last note for like a minute at the end.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I'll pick it just because of that. I'll just pick it just because of that. Then that sounds like a good plan.
Well, when we were recording
that does take a lot of breath.
Yeah, when you hit that like forever at the studio and then you finally stopped it, I swear to God, everybody popped. We were just like, yeah, fuck yeah, Lindsay, hold that shit,
Could you not? Like, that's absolutely incredible. Like, that's incredible. Like that.
It's crazy because like live, because when it's recorded, it's double. There's so two Lindsay's vocals, but live, I want to have it double too. So I try to do backup on that, and like I just can't hold that note like Lindsay does. I just like fade away in the background.
That's so crazy.
That's why you should quit smoking, kids. If you smoke cigarettes, stop so you can sustain a long note.
Oh, that's what I tell people all the time. It's like, man, if you want to sing, like you gotta cut the weed, you gotta cut the cigarettes. You just,
yep.
I'm sorry, like it sucks, but like you just gotta. If you want it, I don't even do those things, and I don't have that kind of lung capacity. So like, hats off to you, girl, because oof.
Thanks. I used to smoke cigarettes for a long time, and I haven't for 4 years, and I think it definitely made my range better and my ability to sustain a long note like that much better. So quit the cigarettes. Just saying.
That's awesome.
PSA.
So awesome.
I think that's the secret weapon, really. Okay, I think I figured out what might be my favorite song, but I'm also very cursed with this song. I'm a big fan of performing the song Sirens live, but I also really despise playing the song Sirens live.
Okay.
And it's because I'm cursed. I'm very cursed with that song. Like I have not, out of all the songs that we play live, Sirens is the song that I've had the most technical like malfunctions happen. Like so many times. Like either like my like a chord gets stepped on and my bass goes out, or I just can't control the pedals. There's so many things that happen wrong to that song that like with all the recordings.
Was it when the string broke on our last show? The string broke on Sirens?
I think at the end of see?
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I never even noticed that. Wow.
But I love that song. I love that song because it's to me mentally it's like the closest to like Welcome to the Jungle.
All right. I'll take that. But I really like the composition and the sounds that you guys have in the album, because it's like it gives that alternative feel without being alternative. Because I know that a lot of people hear the term alternative and they're like, yeah, I don't want that. I want rock, you know? But for you guys, like you have those like unique types of sounds that are not particularly like too close to instrument, but still like creating this sound that's all like uniquely you. So that's really cool. And that's one of the main things that I really like about this album is it, like you guys said, it is you guys. And I haven't heard it anywhere else, you know?
I appreciate that.
Thanks.
That's
it was all right.
Awesome.
It was all right.
And I don't even say that to just like, you know, kiss your butt. I just like say it because, you know, I don't lie. I'm not a liar. So
I'm glad you like it because, you know, I myself know every single mess up that I made.
And that's just us as artists.
So
I don't even know what classifies as alternative. For some reason, when I think of like alternative, it just my mind goes straight to Jane's Addiction.
True. I feel like that's its own genre. Like Jane's Addiction. But I mean, for me, alternative like is just what doesn't fall into other genres or a mix of genres. So I think people are turned off by the term, but it's like if you tell me that you listen to everything except alternative, that doesn't make sense to me because alternative is just a mix of genres. What are you talking about?
That's unique because I usually hear the phrase like I listen to everything but country.
Oh my gosh. Like the country thing, I was definitely that person. But like for me, once I started getting more into music, and I don't mean to like hijack your guys' interview, but when I started getting more into music, I just kind of like, man, you can find good stuff in all genres. You know, it's weird to say like it's weird to exclude one entire genre because you'll find something that you like. Like for me, I really like Old Town Road. That's sarcastic. I don't, but you know what I mean.
It's sort of counterproductive to like sort of close off certain genres because I always find myself when I'm not inspired by the thing that I'm doing now, I need to look at like the far spectrum of what I haven't discovered yet. So sometimes that is country music.
Yeah.
I love country music. I don't know any country music songs. Wait, do I?
Wait, how do you love something if you don't know what it is?
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, because you can just kind of listen and like you can vibe with it, but you might not necessarily go searching for it. Like for
It's weird.
me, I don't
Sometimes when I
like.
listen to country music, I don't envision that being country music. Like I don't, for some
Mm,
reason, when I hear Willie Nelson, I'm like, for some reason, I don't think that's country music. Or,
I think it's because you're so conditioned to hearing people say that they hate country music. So if you hear something that's good, you're like, oh, that can't be country because everybody hates country.
I mean, Darius Rucker does country music now. He was Hootie. Would you
And he-
classify Hootie as alternative?
Yeah, I do. It was alternative, but it was pop alternative rock, wasn't it?
Ah,
Pop alternative rock.
that's gonna be the sound
Popular.
of our next album, Lindsay. We're gonna try to make a Hootie in the Blowfish style.
Oh,
Tight.
got
Are you ready
riffs.
for that?
You know what? I would do it. I would do it.
That's
not-
Sit alone my way.
So there is one question that has been burning for me for a second. So Lindsay, you mentioned you didn't really do well. You did some writing like lyrically on this album, or not
A
any
little
at
bit,
all?
a little bit, yeah.
So are you a big songwriter and like you gotta have stuff in the works, or do you just kind of like?
I feel like I think we all have kind of different writing styles when it comes to making lyrics, and I feel like I take a lot longer than other people, and I don't mean that as a props to myself, but I can't crank stuff out like Joe and Mike can. I'm not saying they don't put thought into it, but like they are able to focus and write together. I have to like go home, listen to it, write on my own, bring it back. But to be real, I haven't had the time to put into it, and we wanted to get this album done. Now, in the future, I hope that I will have some material to bring to the table before we start laying some riffs out. So
Yeah.
that's just how I
But
feel about it.
turn off that smile. That's every bit. That's all you.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so she did
But
write a
Mike
song.
helped with that. But Mike helped with that.
Turn off
Mike
that
did
smile.
help me with that one.
Turn off that smile does have the most lyrics, though, doesn't it?
well, we were angry at the time about the
It
political scene, so that was like my Rage Against the Machine political rant of
Nice.
the
Yeah,
moment.
it was. Yeah. Yeah, we were unhappy with things then. But I mean, you know, we could rewrite that song in different iterations probably every 10 years, I guess.
Well, you know, it's funny. We did, because the lyrics have changed from the very beginning. And like, I remember one time from one show to another show, it was completely different lyrics, and it was hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
that
love
song
changing
did change
lyrics.
multiple times over the years. We'll see.
Yeah, because Lindsay's always like, "Oh, let's rewrite this real quick," and I'm like, "Yeah, do your thing." And every time it'd be different. It was great.
Yeah,
Like, I can make it better.
It's gonna need some updating in the next couple years probably.
Well, we just need a whole new album in the next couple of years.
Yeah, we do. We do.
We were trying.
That's for sure.
I
Yeah,
believe
that-
in you guys. You can make it happen. So I have two last main questions. The first of the two last main questions is for the people at home listening to this interview. What is this? Like, obviously, you want them to listen to the whole album, but you know, apparently, nobody has time when they don't have anything to do but sit at home. So, what would be the one song that you would say kind of encompasses you guys as artists that you would suggest everybody at home listen to? Off this album, that is.
That's a heavy question. It's a heavy
That's what we're
question.
here for. We're here to get into it.
I mean, personally, I'm gonna say Sirens.
All right.
I love Sirens, even though I hate Sirens at the same time. I
I love
it.
Sirens even though I hate it.
It's a curse. I think it's cool because it has a lot of layers. Sirens has a lot of layers that showcases what everyone does. Like I love the drums on it. You know, the guitar sounds sick. Lindsay's vocals are awesome on it, and it has it. You know, the song takes you places from the beginning to the end, and I think that encompasses a lot of what we do. I'm also a big fan of Fuss. Fuss is like this awesome, just this uppercut to the face of what we do. So those two songs are a good balance, I think.
All right.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I think that sounds pretty right. Especially if I have to agree with Fuss for sure. I think that's probably the one.
Well, when we first released the album, and I got feedback from people, from friends or whatever who got it, everybody said that their favorite song on the album was Fuss. And I always thought that would be like the song from the album that would hit the radio first, if it was ever going to hit the radio. So it just has it's got the hooks, it's catchy. And it's very rock and roll, like in a Joan Jett kind of swagger. So that's why I think it's just something that you could listen to and strut down the street.
Yeah,
nice.
I think it sounds great. It sounds like you should be crashing cars to it,
Oh, fantastic! Well, Joe, you have to make that. You have to make that film.
Yeah.
Just like crash cars to the song.
I should. That'll be my next film.
Oh shoot! What was I gonna say? Well, we've been referring to the album as the album. So is it just like a self-titled type Monday Mistress type of thing?
Yes, it is.
Well, I always say it's Greatest Hits Volume 2 whenever I announce it to the crowd.
Right, Greatest Hits Volume 2. Well, where's Volume 1?
We're working on it.
Gotcha. Well, now you have to call your second album Volume 1.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Rock and roll, baby.
Kind of fantastic.
Isn't it Tarantino?
Okay.
Isn't it Tarantino that does films out of order? Is that what we're doing with music?
That's probably where I got that influence. I bet that's probably what it was. Whenever I say that.
And then if somebody like accuses you of like copying Tarantino's style, you say who?
Right. That was all us.
Tarantino. I don't know who that is. So my second, or my last question. It's a pretty easy question. Where can everybody follow you online? Just so we can talk about the band, and then if you want people to follow you guys separately, we can just go around the room.
Which way are we going?
I don't know. Does anybody start?
You know what? You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and are we on Twitter?
Yeah, we're on the Twitter.
Yeah,
on the Twitter.
On Twitter.
On the Twitter.
I would say it's best to follow us. I would say it's best to follow us on at Monday Mistress at Instagram and on Facebook. And if you want to find me, my name's Lindsay Turner, and I'd be happy to chat with anybody if anyone wants to reach out. I have a public profile on both. So
nice.
Go ahead, Joe. You got the long list. It's okay.
What? Because
you're professional.
The same thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna we're just focusing on Monday Mistress.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Follow
Gotcha.
Monday Mistress.
I thought we're just doing general plugs now. Sorry.
I'm okay with general plugs. This is all for you guys.
I'm just saying, I'm not that private where if you guys wanted to like say, hey, Lindsay, are you in Monday Mistress? I'd be like, yeah, how's it going, friend?
Right.
If people want to reach out to me, I'd love to talk to them. But otherwise, yeah, follow just Monday Mistress. We'd be happy to see you on our Instagram or Facebook for sure.
You guys remember that time we performed at the Pinch and we were hanging out upstairs, and then I think someone came up who was waiting to like watch us perform. And they went down the line saying hi to everyone, and they go like to me like, "Oh, you're the bassist. You're the guy that no one hears." And I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna change your mind tonight, sir."
Oh man. Oh shoot, what was I gonna say? So I'm going to. Well, first I'm going to edit this part out, and then I'm going to end the interview, and then I'm going to talk to you guys for a second. How do I end this interview? All right, guys. So that was, we have Joe, we have Lindsay, and we have Mike from Monday Mistress. Go download and stream, if you can, their album, Monday Mistress. We recommend listening to Fuss first and Siren second. If you don't have time, but you should really just listen to the whole album. So that's it, guys. Bye. Okay. So for you guys, now we're done with that.
Wait, are we back into the interview now?
No, we're just like talking now.
Wait, I thought when's the interview starting anyway? We're just hanging out. Yeah, we're just hanging out.
I would have brushed my hair.
So I've released a couple of these. I have so many more in the works. I'm like totally in that like bit off more than you can chew part of life, but like that's okay. So for the first interview, I did a album review. For the second interview, I did just like a kind of a write up because it was on a studio. But for the one that we just released, we did an Instagram carousel because I'm just like kind of flexing my graphic design skills, and that actually did pretty well. So I'm thinking I want to do the Instagram carousel for you guys, just because that seems to be a thing that people on the social medias like to see. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I would like to get the album review out at some point. But like after writing the first one, like it takes me days. I'm like English major of the century. And so I have to like read and edit and get people to like read it before I post it. So it's just like a whole thing. But I'll probably do the Instagram carousel for you guys. And if you guys end up wanting like the files for that to post on yours, that's great. You know, just kind of let me know. But is there a picture? Because I don't know if you saw the one that I most recently posted. But
I think I saw just the front image of it. I didn't scan through it.
Got you. So is there? Because I don't know if you saw, but I did like a gradient map of like a picture of the band. Is there like a picture that you guys would like me to use, or do you guys want me to use the album art? What do you want me to do?
I can what I can do is I can send you a link to two pictures.
Okay.
Promotional pictures of us, and then you can choose which one looks the prettiest. Like,
Gotcha.
Oh, is that the ones with me pre-beard? Is that
pre-beard?
Pre-stash? Yeah.
Wait, I'm not sure. Wait, because
it's this one, right?
We have images on the Monday Mistress website.
Okay.
Hold on, sorry.
Mike, where are you?
My headset. Yeah, it's that. Is it that one you're talking about, Joe?
Hold on. Are we allowed to share screen on this?
Sure, why not? Go for it.
Oh, the host says disabled participant share screening.
Oh, I don't even know how to allow that. I don't even know how to allow you to do that. Wait. Man, I don't know. You'll just have to share those. You'll have to share those with me later.
But I'll send you links to images that we have. I'm not sure if it's I think it is pre.
It is pre-stash. It's pre-stash.
That's pretty recent.
If you guys want, like, there's multiple ways we could do this. I can also do it. I can also like composite like different pictures of you guys. Like it's not a big thing. You just like let me know what you want to do.
It don't matter.
Do you think
pre-stash is fine?
Like, yeah, I was gonna say, is that the only prerequisite? It has to be like stash, no stash.
It's like Freddie Mercury with long hair, Freddie Mercury with short hair. You know, it's like a time.
Just draw in the stash on later.
Oh, that. Okay. I might do that. So just like prepare yourself.
That's cool. Make it like really horrible though, like scribble scrabble.
I wanted to do like the little like mustache that used to be like a big thing back in the day.
No, I got like the Lemmy chops. So.
Oh, you know. Tight. Yeah, we'll see what I can do. Well, I gotta hop off, but this has been totally awesome. I do want to like get on to like talk to you guys more, just like chat. But for now, I have to go work, so that sucks. But anyway,
if you want, if you want us to come back again for part 2, if you guys are down.
Yeah, man, for sure. Definitely after I get through these, because these things are a whole thing. Like it's great. I love giving back to the scene, but like, whew. But hey guys, it's been great. I will talk to you guys later.
Thanks so much.
Guys. See you guys.
Bye guys.